Soundstripe. 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 Soundstripe.
In Psalms 121, verses 5 to 8, we're reminded, "The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from his time forth, and even forevermore." This is the Shade Place Podcast. What's up, shade seekers and faith warriors? You've just entered a different kind of shade zone. Now, when you hear the word shade, you might think of gossip, drama, or even a bit of playful teasing. But here at the Shade Place, we're turning the tables on that definition. You see, the shade we're talking about here isn't about throwing shadows or casting negativity. It's about finding a place of rest, rejuvenation, peace, and protection in the midst of life's everyday happenings. So whether you're seeking spiritual guidance, exploring health and wellness, diving into fitness, or simply seeking identity in the world today, the Shade Place is your sanctuary. Welcome to the Shade Place Podcast. Let's find some shade and shine together. Now, here's your host, Coach Simply D.
What up, though, beautiful people? How you live? How is your evening on this Friday? Again, what up, though, beautiful people? I am your host, Coach Simply D. Welcome to the Shade Place Podcast, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know this is not our regular broadcast. We usually go live on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you for tuning in with me here on an unregular TGI Friday. Thank God it's Friday, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but I'm super happy that we made it here to Friday. Again, thank you so much for tuning in and finding it not robbery to spend your Friday evening, especially at this time season where we have family, it's holidays. So y'all feel kind of special that you even tuned in with your girl on tonight. So again, thank you so much for finding it not robbery just to spend a little bit of your time with your girl on tonight. I am so excited about what God is doing in this season, y'all. God is moving. God is manifesting. God is healing. God is doing so much for his people. I'm so excited what he's doing in our lives. I'm so excited, y'all, what he has given me to share with you all on tonight. I hope you all are excited with me. Listen, tag somebody, be a friend, tell somebody, share, and share. If you have not tapped in and connected with your girl when it comes to YouTube, listen, shipmate, friend, sister, brother, listen, you are wrong. Those of you who know what that means, you know. But listen, go ahead and take that time and subscribe to that YouTube channel, The Shade Place Podcast. I can't believe, y'all, we already in the month of December. Wow. Come through 2024, but we're not done yet. 2023 is not done with us yet, and we're not done with 2023. So our topic in the month of November, y'all, we'd had so much fun leading from all the way from when did we start? September all the way to here to December. So in the month of November, y'all, we talked about the topic of hurt. We discussed the matters of the heart, the complex and heavy subjects such as molestation, sexual abuse, insecurities, and trauma. That trapped trauma, y'all, that comes and we've been holding on to and dealing with over the years, even from childhood. So I'm so glad that we've been having these discussions. We defined it. We've learned how to identify trauma along with insecurities. We also discussed the symptoms that we go through and we experience, the responses that we as people, how we respond to trauma, how we respond to insecurities and these things. We also came up with some solutions, y'all. Y'all know we tired of being trapped. We're tired of being bogged down. We're tired of not knowing which way to turn, not knowing which way is up, which way is down. Come on, y'all feel me? We're tired of that. We're ready for some solutions, not just any solutions, not no hacks, y'all, but some real solutions that will give us some real resolution. Okay. And we also learned how to walk in victory, y'all. So in the previous episodes, the last episode, which was episode 12, whoop, come on, y'all. We're moving right along. We're moving right along. We're right now here at episode 13, 1-3. Wow. Amazing. God has all and gets all of the glory. You hear me? Listen, in the previous episode, episode 12, y'all, we discussed abandonment and rejection. That's one of those heavy situations, but nobody really talks about, but we talked about it and we will continue to address it. And I'm telling you, what a dynamic time we had. If you missed it, excuse me, y'all. If you missed it, you missed a treat. But guess what? You can always go back and check us out. Look at episodes 1-12 on our YouTube channel, the Shade Plays Podcast, y'all. We are now again in that month of December, and our topic is identity, y'all. Remember who you are. I'm gonna say that in my Mufasa voice, okay? Remember who you are. We will be discussing and addressing today's episode, the importance of identity. And then following episode that we're going to be heading into next week will be how to identify or how to find identity, should I say, in Christ. Leading by, we're ending with the benefits of knowing who you are in Christ. Come on, y'all. God got us lined up good for the month of December. Would you say so? I would say so. So I just want to give God thanks now for the lineup of even this topic of identity. So let's get ready to grasp hold of the tools, y'all. These keys, y'all often hear me refer to. I try to remix them. That might be a new thing. Grasping hold of the tools and the keys, y'all. Y'all often hear me referring to tools, that tool belt. Being equipped is what I'm saying. All right. And those keys are there to help us unlock those doors that are, lead to destiny, lead to purpose, lead to success. Come on, lead to elevation, y'all, lead to healing. Come on, y'all. It's time for us to overcome this thing called this identity crisis, this issue of identity. So let's grab hold of these tools and keys on tonight and get ready to just change the trajectory of our lives and walk in the victory and be victorious as the men and the women that God has created us to be. So if it's your first time tuning in and tapping in with your girl, listen, welcome and thank you again for tapping in and tuning in with me. I am your host, Coach Simply D. I don't have a lot to say about me other than I'm here in the place to be. Y'all like that flow, didn't y'all? Yeah, y'all like that flow. I know it. I enjoyed it myself. So it's time, y'all. It's time to enter the shade place. But before we do, before we enter in, y'all already know our plate has been full. Our minds have been full. We've been pulled every which way. We had a full week. We've endured so much already. It's Friday. So let's take this time, take a deep breath, blow that thing out. Now let's stop and let's check our thoughts, y'all. Y'all know our minds be racing. So let's check our thoughts right here at the door before we enter into the shade place. So whatever it is that you went through today, whatever you went through throughout your week, release it. Let's humble our hearts to receive the word and the message on today. Let's get ready to shift our mindset. Let's do that now. Let's shift our mindsets to accept the plate before us, to be able to admit our faults, failures, and weaknesses. And y'all often hear me say this, and I'm going to say it again tonight, that none of us are exempt. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what your area code is. I don't care how you grew up, who raised you, who your mama, daddy, them is, who your pedigree is, what your title is. Come on. We can go all the way down the list. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care. None of us are exempt from faults, failures, and weaknesses. Let's be determined to make the necessary changes, y'all, to become who? The higher, better expressions of self. Who don't want that? Come on. Let's get equipped, y'all. Let's equip ourselves with these tools and these keys again that we will receive on tonight to fight yet another day. Why do I say that? Coach, why are you saying to fight? Who up in this mud about to fight? You are, I am, we are. We're not taking no more blows, y'all. We've been getting hit left, right, top, bottom, center. Come on, y'all, from the back. We've been getting hit from all which way. But you know what? It's cool. We had to take a knee throughout 2023. We had to take a knee. Some of us had to take two. Some of us had to lay down for a second. But you know what? No more. We're ready to fight. We're ready to fight back, y'all. We're ready to fight back. So here we are at our episode 13, identity. Tonight's topic of identity is so important. And I'm so glad that we are having discussion and that we are discussing this topic. My brother Breon just said it's epic. And yes, it is, brother. I agree that this topic is major. It's epic. It's not a favorable topic because it's so controversial. It's a controversial topic where, identity can be spliced in so many different things and in so many different ways. It's also a very personal topic because we're talking about moi, me as an individual, you as an individual. And we're sensitive about our identities and who others perceive us to be and who we even say about ourselves. But yet, this topic is so needed. As many are without an identity, that's scary, y'all. We got people running around here, folk running around here with no identity. We have many running around here with more identities for us all, right? Some of us, we don't even know who's showing up at our door, right? Tell somebody to pull up, you don't know who you finna get. All right, this is how vast and how epic this topic is, identity. Y'all, we live in an age, in a world where there are here today and gone tomorrow false ideologies and philosophies. I'm going to say that again for those that's in the back and those that's just tapping in and tuning in. Again, welcome. We live in an age, y'all. We live in an age, we live in a day, we live in the world where there are here today and gone tomorrow false ideologies and philosophies. Our identities today are influenced by so much. The older generation would say, well, y'all crazy and all this different stuff, but some of us didn't have to deal with the things that we're faced with today. And I would even argue that today is difficult. It's very challenging for parents. is very challenging, raising children in this day and this age where there's so much that they can get a hold of. There's so much that they can tap in and tune into without us even knowing, you know, despite all the apps and the different things that's out there that we can try to monitor our children's social media and all these different things. But our children, they're very smart, they're tech savvy. And this day and age, this knowledge and I ain't even gonna call it wisdom, just information is what I'm gonna say. That knowledge and information, everything is at our fingertips, everything is the right now. And it's crazy because our children, our babies are suffering from understanding and knowing who they are because of the influence, because of, the shaping of the character through social media and what culture says and what society says about who they are and who they ought to be. And truth be told, it's not just our children, y'all. We're suffering too. We're trying on different identities. Does this one work today? I don't know. Does this one work next month? I don't know. We're trying so many different ways to fit in, so many different ways to be cool, look cool, floss, you know what I'm saying? Look the part. Sometimes we're so caught up in the image of who we are and not what's really real. You feel me? So and about what other thinks of us. And this thing right here blows my mind, y'all. How we're so fixated in the importance and the value that we put on what others think of us and what they say concerning us. I mean, so much so, y'all, that we flip our identity based on the value of these things and these people, y'all. Right, identity clones. Like, what are we doing? Like, why are we all over the place as a nation, as a people, in our cultures, in the subcultures? I don't care what color you are, how tall, how short, how skinny, how fat, how much money. Yo, none of us are exempt from this thing, and we're seeing it, and it's vast. The value, wow, the value, the way that we place so much value on others' perception of us, of others' definition of us, of others. I'm gonna find the word that I was looking for there. Appraisal, if you would. If you would go and appraise a building to find out how much it's worth, you'll be surprised how many of us will look at a person and their input or what they say concerning us matters so much so that it has the ability to make us feel low and look down on ourselves. Y'all, that's powerful. There's something to be said about that. In this day and age, y'all, if you have not noticed, listen, let me help you bring this thing into focus if you haven't noticed this. The enemy is running rampant, y'all. The enemy is running rampant with this issue of identity. I'm going to say that again, that the enemy, if you have not noticed, where was your antennas? The enemy is running so rampant right now, y'all, with this issue of identity. You see it in the commercials, you see it in the movies, you hear it in the songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see it in our children, you see it in us. It's everywhere. It's in our stores. You look at the clothing sometimes, and we try these different fits and try to dress something up in order to look like what. Come on, y'all feel me? So what else are what you talking about, coach? What issue of identity? Because I don't see what you see. Check this out. It's evident. Again, what was your antennas? Not your antennas, but your antennas. Here is how you can tell that this identity issue is huge. Here is how we can tell that the enemy is running so rampant with this thing with identity. In my brother's words, who I miss so dearly on tonight, shouts out to my brother, Elder Mark Wilson. Catch this. Everything is being redefined. I'm sorry, is this mic on? Check 1 2 1 2. Everything is being redefined. What's crazy is the things that God has already defined It's being redefined. You don't know what I'm talking about? Come on, y'all. Let's bring this thing into focus a little bit more. Right looks wrong and wrong looks right. That can go from our apparel, what we rocking on tonight, on a Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday. Come on, you feel me? Not only what we dressing, what kind of threads we rocking and outfitting ourselves with, the things that we say, the way that we behave, our character. Come on, the places that we going. Come on, y'all. The people that we connecting to, the relationships that we are intertwining in. Come on, y'all. The things that the choices, y'all, the music selection, listen, everything that looks wrong is right. Vice versa. You feel me? So no wonder why we're struggling and being challenged as parents. How can you tell a child when they seeing their peers behave and dress and act and talk and walk and doing things and going places in such a way, and they like, mama, you tripping, daddy, you tripping, grandma, you tripping, auntie, uncle, you feel me? They like, yo, this ain't what I see every day. This sounds contrary to what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling and what I'm hearing. So it makes it relevant and real for them. And then with the things that we are battling with to teach them becomes irrelevant. It becomes a distant echo. But we putting the enemy on notice, y'all. We putting the enemy on notice. Our antennas are up. Our antennas are up. No more being disguised out here. We about to tap in to this identity issue. Let's define this thing called identity. We're talking about it. What is this thing called identity? The fact of being who or what a person is. A person could be a who or what. Come on, listen. The distinguishing character of personality. Our sense of who we are. There it is. How others perceive us and how others label us. Not just others, but even ourselves, y'all. Not even ourselves, but we're talking about even society, even what culture says, how we are to dress, how we are to walk, how we are to talk. Come on, not just one community, but all communities. Not just one gender, but all gender or no gender. You can be whoever you want to be today. That's scary, y'all. It also encompasses, identity encompasses our values. Check this out. Our values. What do our values do for us? Our values can be dictated. Our values dictate the very choices and decisions that we make. Did you know that? Were you aware and are you aware of the situation? Are you aware? Let's talk about the importance of identity. We just defined it, y'all. We tapped in, we tuned in. Excuse me. Let's talk about the importance of identity, y'all. This issue of identity is so important, it's so epic. Again, because the enemy wants so much so, y'all, to twist and turn our identity, to change the name that God has given us, y'all. I'm going to say that again because I'm not even done there. This issue of identity is so important because the enemy wants, desires, is chasing after without no fail. I mean, gunning for, got a whole strategy, got backup, got goons. Come on, y'all. He's not playing. He wants your identity. He wants my identity. So much so to twist it and to turn it. Come on, what looks right is wrong. What's wrong is right. He said, if I can turn you backwards, if I could turn you inside out, if I can turn you so you don't even know where you at or who you are. Come on, y'all. and to change the name that God has given us. Do you know that God has given you a name? Do you know that God has given me a name? He has given us a name, y'all. And he wants to change the very image of who God has created us to be. I'm talking about you and I'm talking about me on tonight. This is the plot and the plan, the snare and the trap of the enemy. And this is what he's doing with our identity. So I would say that identity, let me know if you agree with me on tonight that identity is a treasure. Identity, man, is so much in identity. Why is he after our identity so hard? I mean, all across the nation, not just at your crib, not at my crib. Can I talk to y'all tonight? But I mean, all across the nation. Nations, should I say. We see this identity issue. We see it running rampant. Why? Because the enemy knows something, y'all. He knows that we will either live up to or we will live down to whatever. Catch this. Don't miss this next word. Believe to be true about who we are. I'm going to say that one more again, because I'm feeling it. And I want to make sure that you all have heard what I just said. The enemy knows that we will either live up to or we will live down to whatever you believe, whatever I believe to be what? True, y'all. True. Whatever I believe to be true about who I am. Whatever you believe to be true about who you are. You either going to live up to it or you're going to live down to it. See, check it. The issue of identity is so critical. We can trace this issue in the theological threads that we see all the way throughout the scriptures. I mean, from Genesis all the way to Revelations, y'all. And we can pick up some amazing biblical principles here. In the beginning, y'all, God called an obscure man named Abram. I ain't preaching tonight, but I'm just letting you know. This is some information. This is some wisdom. This is some tools. These are some keys. Hello, somebody, on a Friday night. God called an obscure man named Abram, plucked him up out of an obscure town. Make this thing personal. And the very first thing God does, y'all, what does he do? He changes Abram's name from Abram to Abraham. That's the first thing that he did. He went and got him and was like, come on, listen, I got somewhere for you to go. But what he does first is he changes his name. That means he changed his identity. And when God changes our name, y'all, come on. This is the next thing that God did for Abraham after he changed our brother's name. Then God changed the very GPS coordinates of his destiny. So it's a lot. This is why it is so important for identity, because it can change the very GPS coordinate of our destiny. That means that where we're headed, our identity weighs heavy on where we're going. What we believe to be true about ourselves, the way that we perceive ourselves, what we believe to be true, it has weight. It has an effect. It has impact on our destiny, where we're headed, where we're going, who we connected to. Come on, y'all. Identity is important. I find it so exciting. I don't know about you. I'm not tripping. I'm finding it exciting because God will not only change our name, y'all, but he would change where we headed. Anybody else headed in the wrong direction? Have you ever been headed in the wrong direction? Even if you drive in you're going in the wrong direction and you realize you're going in the wrong direction. It just don't feel right. You know, you're just getting this like, I don't think I'm going in the right direction. Like, it just don't feel right. Everything starts to look crazy and odd and out of place. You start to feel out of place and you start to feel like, wait a minute. Yeah. See, that's that thing right there. It's time for us to turn around and go in the right direction, y'all. God changed the very trajectory of life for Abraham. And if he, last time I checked, y'all, if he can do it for Abraham, he can do it for me. He can do it for you. He got us. He can do this for us. Why? Because he is the same God. What? Come on, y'all. Type it in the comments. He is the same God. Today, yesterday, in the past, then, now, here, right now, today, on December 8th, 2023. Come on, he's the same God. I'm not even going to preach on tonight. He's the same God, y'all. He ain't changed. We might have changed. We changed outfits, we changed wigs, we changed skins, we changed personality. We do a lot of changing in order to fit a mold and a character of what others and what ourselves, society, social media, and so many other things says that we ought to be. And out of Abraham, y'all, listen, God told Abraham, y'all, out of you, I am going to create a brand new group of people. I'm putting emphasis on these words because I want y'all to hear this, man. Like, this is so important. Out of you, I'm speaking to you right now. Out of you, brother, out of you, sister, out of you, beautiful people, God will create a whole new group of people. God told Abraham, these people that I'm going to create, this brand new group of people, listen, I'm going to make them mine. They will. They ain't no will is one of those words, y'all, where it's stamped and approved, it's going down. Ain't no change in that. Will be mine. They will be mine, and I will be theirs. I will set them apart. They will no longer, catch this, be who they used to be. I don't know about you, but that's good news for me. I'm like, hey, everything that I used to do, everything that the person that I used to be, you mean to tell me that there's hope that I can be another person, a better person? You'll set me apart. I no longer have to be stained by my past. I no longer have to carry the burden of guilt, shame, hurt, defeat, failure. Come on, this is good news, y'all. This is why identity is so important, because many of us are faced with the failures of our lives. Many of us are faced with the weaknesses, the past, the circumstances, the things that people have said, the things that people have done, the things that we have done, the things that we have said. Come on, y'all. We don't have to stay there. And we're definitely not identified by that, because we hear now that God said, listen, listen, you're mine and I'm yours. I got you. I'm going to set you apart. Not only am I going to do that, you no longer going to be who you used to be. They're not even going to be able to identify you. They can't label you by who they said that you were. You know what I'm saying? He also told Abraham that these people, these brand new group of people, they will bear my name, my provision. Come on, God is still speaking to Abraham. God is speaking to Abraham. Remember, he's the same God yesterday to today and forevermore. So make it personal. He said, they will bear my name, my provisions, and my promises. Y'all, it keeps going. And my blessings will be their staple. A new creature. They will be mine and I will be theirs. Listen, you got to listen to this next part, y'all. Again, in my brother words, Elder Mark Wilson, catch this. God said, I'm going to do all of that. I got you. If only they will choose to align themselves with their new identity. Wow. Wow, God. God said, I can do it. I'm going to do it. It is done. But listen, what do you believe on tonight, people? Beautiful people. What is it that we're believing about ourselves? What are we believing to be true about ourselves? Because God said, listen, you good. This is yours. My blessings, my promises, my provision. Come on, I got you. If only you will choose to align with your new identity. That's heavy, that's deep. This is why this topic is so epic. If only they would catch this, think. There's something to be said about our thoughts, about how we think and what we think of ourselves, and how much power and how much authority we give others, because it's only by permission, right? I remember my mama telling me that from a young girl all the way into adulthood, honey, it's only by permission, is what we allow. We surrender power and authority and we give it to other people. And so we put so much emphasis and so much focus and so much value on other people and what they think of us. But if we would only think in alignment with our new identity, y'all, if we would only behave in alignment with our new identity and not how we feel, y'all, we in a generation where feelings and emotions are high. Feelings and emotions, we got this cute thing that says feelings over purpose over feelings. It's cute on a t-shirt. It's cute on a t-shirt, but I'll be real about this thing. It might make some money. It might be a fad. It might go around. It might be trendy. But are we really paying attention to this situation, this identity issue? He says also their identity, and not how they feel, but if we are aligned, not according to our circumstances, y'all. I know we done all dealt with some heavy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some of us have seen things that others have never seen and probably would never see. Nobody's negating or saying that what you've been through was nothing. But what I'm saying is, this ain't got nothing to do with our circumstances or our feelings or our emotions. He also said if we would just align with what other people has said we are, not the labels that society has given us, not the labels or the shape of the character, the molding of what social media, our young men and women, not just our young men and women. All right. It's even us, y'all, as adults. We're being with the things that we're seeing. You can't help but to see it. You turn on a commercial, you see it. You turn on a movie, you see it. Sex is everywhere. Everybody is just beautiful. Social media, y'all. Everybody's vacating. Everybody look like they just doing the most. They're just looking like they're just living up life. And you looking like, what is wrong with me? Why don't I have, people getting, what is this thing? I can't never remember them acronyms, ABC, BBL, I'm not knocking anything that you want to do with yourself and your body. That's your choice. But what I'm saying is that I have girls. I have 4 girls and 2 boys. Yes, I am a mom of 6 and a grandmother. Very proud. What I tell and share with my girls and my sons is this. They want to dress the part. They want to sound the part. They want to look the part. Not just my children. I know it's your children too. And the children that you see, your grandchildren, you feel me? Your nieces, your nephews, come on, your cousins. All this, we see our youth, y'all, battling. And because they're more prone to social media than we are, they get it. We only could do doses. If you like me, I only could do it. I only could do it doses, y'all. I got a few thumb scrolls and I'm done. But this is what I'm saying is that they seeing, the twerking is everywhere. And some of our girls and even some of us was like, I can't do all that. I can't twerk, but we desire to. We desire to have a big hind parts. We desire to have more hips, bigger legs, thicker thighs, more boobage, cleavage. Come on, men, big chest, small waist, that V line. Y'all feel me? Muscles popping from left to right, the dopest hair, the beautiful, the long string. Come on. All these different identities is everywhere. Everybody's slinging something and doing something. But are they truly happy? Do these people really know who they are? Are they aligned with true identity? That's what we got to stop and ask ourselves for real. And what's crazy is God didn't just stop there. He didn't say not just the labels that society has given them. Listen, but if you and I would just simply act like who I am calling you to be is who you really are, I'm going to say that again. God said, if you and I would just simply act like, you know, even tell your children, just act like you got some sense. Just act like you got some sense, please. Act like you know better. Act like you've been taught better. Act like you got some manners. God is saying, if we would just simply act like who I am calling you is who you really are, then you will see my blessings explode in your life. That's heavy. That's heavy. Excuse me, y'all. Like the children of Israel, y'all, listen, we are so seduced as a people. We're seduced by idols. We're seduced by culture. We're seduced by everything that we just named. The cars. We're so seduced by the outfits and who got money. And if I got money, the bigger houses. And, you know, we're seduced by all these things that are offered up to us. We see the children of Israel, don't miss this, y'all. We see the children of Israel over and over and over again. They're found doing what, man? They running. They're found running in fear from foreign enemies, like over and over again. And this is the chosen people. This is who God has called, and God has called and chose you and I. And we do the same thing as the children of Israel. We be running in fear, ducking off, don't want to be exposed on nothing, running around fragile and in so many different characters, putting on so many different faces, so many different masks. Well, we don't know who we are today. We struggling with our identity, not just our children. No, come on. If our children are struggling with identity, that means that we are struggling too. We are an example. We're not their only example. They get more of that influence out there in social media, school, and their peers. But we also need to check ourselves. Like the children of Israel, we keep forgetting who we are. And we keep failing to live up. See, the children of Israel, they was tripping. They forgot who they was, you know, who they were, and failed to live up to the standards of who God called and was calling them to be. That sounds familiar, right? That sounds like today. It sounds like that we too keep forgetting who we are. It's evident, it's rampant, it's out there. We see it. We fail to live up to the standards of who God calls us to be, not what any influencer says that we ought to be. Come on, I could go down this list. Not what mama and daddy want us to be, not what our husbands, our wives want us to be. We don't even know who we want to be no more. We just bogged down by all these different hats, responsibilities, and roles. We get lost in ourselves, and we get lost in the future, looking ahead, too far ahead. Tend to look back at our past. We don't know who we are. We don't know. I mean, the bending and the bowing, y'all, and settling and living below the standards. This is what the children of Israel were doing, that they were below the standards that they were called for. I mean, these people, we can relate with them because they were free. Y'all, check this out. The children of Israel were free from 400 years of slavery. 400 years of slavery. What you've been freed from? What have I been freed from? But we still can't get our act together. We still can't identify or even align or even live up to the standards of who God is calling us to be. Some of us don't even know that we're being called by God, that God has changed our name, that God even loves us. But now in this time, day and age, even for platforms, social media is evident. God is saying that, you know, like you're going to hear it. You're going to come face to face with it. Like the excuses of us not knowing who God has called us to be, that's going away. Check this out. Not only did Israel do all that good stuff, they were actually on the land of milk and honey. Come on. They was in the promised land, like touching bases, and they couldn't even enjoy it. They couldn't even enjoy the blessing simply because they did not get this identity issue straight. Does that sound familiar for you and for I? God will bless us with so much. God will give us a home. God will give us not just these tangible things, but God, the deliverance, just the elevation. God do so much for us, but then we don't even get a chance to enjoy it. That's why we see so many folk who got money. We wishing that we could be in their shoes, but you don't even know what's going on in their shoes. They over here tormented, don't know who they are, can't even trace an identity. But I come bearing good news, y'all. Everything for you completely can change. That's dope. That's the kind of God that I serve. That's the kind of God that we can trace from Genesis to Revelation, that everything for you, everything for me, it can completely change. When God meet with one person, y'all, just one person. In other words, if God can just meet with you, if he could just meet with just me, God can care. You are the one person is what I'm trying to say. I am the one person. God cares so much about your identity, our identity, and seeing ourselves as he sees us and how he has created us. And he came. Check out Judges chapter 6. He pulled up on Gideon. Gideon was down in the wine press chilling, hiding out. Actually, he was hiding out. I'm not gonna go through the whole story, but basically Gideon was ducked off because the Midianites, they came every time that the Israelites, they will go up, and every time that they go and plant, every harvest, everything, the wind would blow it, and then here they come to take it and savage it and destroy everything, and left nothing for the people of Israel. So Gideon like, yo, I'm gonna go duck off real quick. I'm gonna hide, but he was hiding in fear because he didn't want to. So he was down low. He didn't want nobody to find where he was. The significance of this is God pulled up. I love that we have a God that will pull up, that he will locate us because he loves us just that much. If we getting our identity things is mixed up, and God will come, and he came down here. He will come to you and he will come to me. That if he cannot shift, this is why God came, to help us shift our perspective of who we are. His mission was to, if he can make us start aligning our thoughts, come on, our thinking, y'all, our thinking be our thoughts be the cause of it all, for real. If we can start lining our thinking and our behavior to match up with who God has called us to be, man, mind blowing. It could change the whole course and the trajectory of our entire lives just by aligning with who God says that we are, who he has called us to be. So I want you to know on tonight, I want you to know that it doesn't matter, y'all, what other people has called you. It don't even matter what you called yourself or what you call yourself. There is only one. There is only one who has the right and authority to tell you who you are. Don't know who that is? That is Jesus. That is God. He's the only one that he's the one who has given life. He's the only one who has the right and authority to tell you who you are. He's the only one who has the right and authority to tell me who I am, because he created me. He gave me life. He gave you life. He gave us life. That means something. That means that our circumstances, listen, as wild as they are and as wild as they have been, gave us a run for our money. I mean, down to the last penny, y'all. We scraping and just trying to get what we can get. We trying to survive. They aren't powerful enough to define you. I'm going to say that again. Your circumstances is crazy, and as 2023 being one of them years, maybe it came from 2022, maybe it came from 20, come on, all the way through. As crazy as your circumstances has been, they do not have power enough to define you. Your past may be one that you are ashamed of. I know I've done some things in my past that I'm not proud of. Um, that I don't, just share with everybody, not everybody, because some folk ain't mature enough. They quick to throw a label on you real quick. So I don't share with everybody, but I don't mind sharing is what I'm saying though. But I have some things in my past. I know that you have some things in your past. But you may be ashamed of it. You may even try to hide it, is the point. It may have even marked you. But the good news, y'all, is this, is that your past does not have the power nor the authority to label you or me. That's dope. And no matter who said what concerning you, no matter how hurtful it was, and people can go real low. People could go real low. It could be your mama. It could be your daddy. It could be your spouse. It can even be your children. Some people come with bows and arrows. Some people showing up with machetes to chop your head off or chop a limb off. You know what I'm saying? To just their whole mission is just to turn like the enemy, turn inside out, to turn you upside down, to twist and to turn till you feel the torture, till you don't even know who you are no more. You believe so much so about what they say that it changes the way that you feel about you, the way that you see about you. You feel me? That's deep. That much hurt. No matter. That don't even matter. No matter how much hurtful things that they've said or done. Not even the betrayal. Some of us has been betrayed by our spouses, and it's left us in a detrimental place, a place where, the ones that said I do, the ones that said, man, I love you to the end of time, has turned a back on us. Or you feeling you've experienced betrayal or rejection, and you trying to figure out, man, what? Not just our spouses, but our children, co-workers, bosses. Come on, make this thing personal, because it is. No matter what they said, I don't care how much it hurt, how big of a blow it was, or how it is. It still does not have the power or authority to shape the totality of who you have been called to be. Now, that is something to be said about the importance of identity. And I'm going to say this again in my Mufasa voice, y'all. Remember who you are, beautiful people. And I want you to know this, because we don't talk about these things. We speed bump things, but I want you to know this, that you are not defined. I am not defined. We are not defined by our past, no matter how bleak, how dark. No matter if there's guilt, shame, no matter what it is. We are not defined by our behavior. And we know some of us done cut up. Some of us know that we act out right now. We are some straight baby kids and we don't know how to get it together. We're not defined by our behavior. We're not defined by our failures. I don't care how many times you failed. Don't be afraid to fail. Fail up. Learn from the lesson. Come on, get a whole new plan, a strategy. Those are lessons. Failures are awesome. We're not defined by those, though. We're not defined by the struggles. And y'all know how we say the struggle is real. We need to watch what we say out of our mouth, because what we're doing is put more focus on the struggle. But no matter, we're not defined by our struggles. We're not defined by our feelings. And we know we all over the place with our feelings as a people. We're not defined by our emotions. We're not defined by our thoughts. I don't know about you, but for me, man, my thoughts could be crazy. I could think of some crazy stuff, y'all, concerning me. We're not even defined by our circumstances, y'all. We're not even defined by the here today and gone tomorrow false ideologies and philosophies of our current culture. That's dope. And that's a lot. And I want you to know this, that you are who God says you are. Point, period, blank, and Go past go, because that's who God said you are. That does not change. Even what you're going through today, even what you feeling the way that you feeling, thinking the way that you thinking, listen, whatever storm you in, whatever you being faced with, if God said that God said, and it is. That does not change. God has given us a name, y'all. And how exciting it is that God knows our name. Come on, we heard the song. I ain't even gonna try to sing, y'all. I'm no, can't do that. That's not my anointing. But God knows your name. God knows my name. That's exciting. And I also want you to know that you are chosen. You are royal priesthood. You are not a mistake. I don't care if mom and daddy didn't mean to really get together. If it was happenstance, not really, but you know what I'm saying? They was like, oops. No, ain't no oops. You're not a mistake. You're not an afterthought. You're not a liability, but you are redeemed. You are chosen, adopted and qualified, stamped and approved, baby, created in the very image of God. You have power and authority. Somebody needs to know that on tonight, that you have power and you have authority. I know what you're feeling. I know what you're thinking. I know what you may have thought. I know what they may have told you to try to render you and take all of your weapons and leave you hopeless. But you have power and you have authority. It is only one you. It is only one. It's only one Simply D. It's only one Deonna Ponder. You hear me? There is only one of me, and I am unique. Somebody on here, y'all, you need to know that you are unique, somebody. Beautiful people, you are unique. There is only one you. This is something that I share with my children. It's only one you. Nobody else has your face. Somebody might look similar to you. Somebody might, they might see you from afar and get you mistaken identity with somebody else, but it's only one you. You only got that one set of fingerprints nobody else have. You are truly unique. That's dope. And for real, y'all, truth be told, here's what I think. That anybody in any system that seeks to diminish the value of the uniqueness, catch this, of who you are, in my brother's words, is actually anti-God. Here's why. This is why. It's because I am an expression of the creative genius of God. Somebody need to type that in the comments. Somebody need to say something about that. Who are you? I am an expression of the creative genius of God. So anything that comes against the expression and the creative genius of God, that's anti-God. They're not with God. I mean, all the way, not just your physical image, but all the way from, your personality, our temperaments, our weaknesses. In fact, my weaknesses are a platform for the strength of God to be displayed throughout my life. That means that when I am weak, then God is strong. What did this have to do with the importance of my identity? The enemy is banking on us not to align, y'all, with who we are. The enemy is banking on not only that, but he's also banking on and goes to the very length and depths to distract us. We got so much going on today in our households, on our job. We wearing many hats. We're doing so many things. We are distracted people. And we are compacted people. There's so much inside of us that we haven't even dealt out, that we haven't even dealt with. Trauma. There's a lot of things that we haven't dealt with. But the whole point is for the enemy. He like, man, I need them not to align. Let's keep them distracted. Let's keep them wavering on their identity. Why? Because he knows at the very moment you remember who you are, him and his kingdom got trouble. Are y'all feeling me? Why? Because you have power, brother and sister. You have authority. There's something strong. There's something powerful about you knowing who you are. It's something strong and there's something powerful about you aligning with your identity. That is dope. Check this. As long as the enemy can blur our identity, we're not a threat. We're not a threat. If he could keep us in our head, if he could keep us looking on social media, comparing ourselves to other people, women, we do it. Men, I know y'all do it too. If we continue to want and desire with other people, that comparison situation, if we don't focus, is what I'm saying, is if we keep doing that, what's going to happen is he can keep us. Excuse me, y'all. Women, sisters, queens, come here. Check this out. If the enemy can keep us in that place of captivity, because this is what he do with us and our identity. Come on, our self-worth, who we say, who we say, what we say about us, who we are. If he can keep us in that place of captivity, that low self-esteem, that low or no worth, he can have a field day with our children, with our household, because all we could do is just be caught up in our feelings and our emotions. And what we tend to do as women, we nurture. We have a nature to nurture, and sometimes we nurture the wrong things too long, and we make them our babies and we raise them. We feed them. You feel me? Come here, men. Come here, brothers. Come here, kings. If the enemy can only keep you absent, away, and locked up in your cave, and not present physically, emotionally, even when you are present physically, you're absent emotionally. You're absent spiritually. Our children and our generations are waiting for us to wake up, y'all, because listen, if we don't address and get this identity issue straight, we won't know who we are. We don't know where we're headed. Our children would not know who they are and where they're headed. Generations, y'all feel me? This thing needs to stop and end with us. We need to step and align with who God says that we are and start to begin to see ourselves as God sees us. They are waiting for us. Generations, there are people, there are a nation that is waiting for us to wake up and align with our true identity. Yeah, you might have an identity, but are we aligning with our true identities on tonight? I believe that God wants to deal with this identity issue because he loves us just that much, and he desires for us to be free, y'all. He desires for us to be free of all these false ideologies and philosophies, these false identities. It's gone, this here one day, gone tomorrow. Like, you don't know who nobody, like, just change it. He wants us to experience his love and to walk in his love, his joy, his wisdom, his freedom, his victory. And the enemy just wants to walk and just lock us away. Because if he can come from our identity, he can come for our children. He can come for our generations. Come on, y'all. We're breaking generational curses by aligning with our true identity, by aligning with who God says that we are, the beautiful people that God has called us to be. That's amazing. That is truly, truly, truly amazing. Again, I want you to know this, and I'm about to get ready to get out of y'all way. I want you to know that no matter, and I want you to know that it does not matter what other people call you. Don't even matter what you call yourself. There is only one, the one who has created you, the one that has given you life, the one that has breathed breath of life into your nostrils and you became a living being, has the right and authority to tell you who you are. You are called. You are chosen. You are unique. And God has given you a name. And I say unto you tonight that this thing is important, that we grasp hold of this identity issue and we align. So much is at stake. Again, what is your GPS set to? Where are you going? Where are you headed? Where am I headed? This has been an amazing night. I hope that you have truly loved it as much as I have. I didn't plan to come on here long, y'all. I just wanted to stop by and just let you know that you are not defeated. You are not your circumstances. You are not your failures, your weaknesses, your past. You are not any of that. You are not defined by it. No label that you or anybody else or what you have done, said, or how you may have behaved. You are none of that. I know society is saying one thing. I know social media is saying another. They present so much to us. Let's not compare ourselves to our brothers and our sisters. Although these things look glorious, just imagine what God can do when we align. The places that we can go, the elevation, the being free. Being free is everything, y'all. Being free, that's beautiful. Set free, delivered, healed. Now that right there, when we do that, oh man, the enemy will be on notice. He'll be on his toes. We'll have him scrambling. He won't even know who he is. He won't even know what to do with that. But as long as we stay in a place of not knowing who we are or remembering, sometimes some of us know who we are, but we need to remember when life happens, when the life happenings happen, we need to remember who we are. Sometimes you got to check yourself like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We get beside ourselves. I don't know about you, but I certainly have gotten beside myself in some situations like, wait, hold on, wait. I know who I am. I've been through some things, y'all, and I've been through a season of my life where I thought low of myself, where I lost my identity. I didn't know whether I was coming, I was going. I didn't even know who I was. I was struggling. I felt like I'm like, am I my mom? Because and I'm not doing so well in this mom department. I hear you calling me mom, but I certainly don't feel like one. You feel me? I also felt like, even on our jobs, and I don't, thank you, Holy Spirit, even on our jobs, some of us align ourselves that success will equal, on the job or just success, period. Whatever, if you're an entrepreneur, that we put so much emphasis on success to where if we're no longer in a role or position, we don't even know who we are anymore. We don't even know what we have to offer no more. The same is true in our marriages. Even if you have divorced, if you're on a line of divorce, if you're on a line of separation, know that you're not a failure. And know that you're not the ugly things that one another may have said or to each other, or what you may believe about yourself. Remember who you are on tonight. So much is at stake. This is important, y'all. This is epic. This is epic. We got to get our GPSs together. We got a lot of things to do. There's a work in the kingdom for us to do, but we got to remember who we are. And sometimes that's going to take work. That means that there's a requirement for you and there's a requirement for I. We can't just sit back and just ride this thing called life, y'all. There's some work with it. Life is going to happen. Circumstances going to take place. Life happenings is going to happen. People going to set trip. You going to set trip. We going to do some things that we know we ain't got no business doing. Go somewhere. Connect with some people. Come on, you feel me? But when it happen, when it go down and it get ugly, even if you have to take a knee in this life, Listen, don't stay there. Remember who you are. You got power. You got authority. If you're dealing with brokenness, listen, take your brokenness and watch God. Hold true to who you are and watch God mend the broken pieces. I know they scattered everywhere. I've been there. I'm still picking up some pieces, if you feel me. I know that it don't look like this piece can match this piece. Don't worry about it. Stop trying to figure it out. Stop trying to do it by yourself. No, let God bring the pieces back together. Let him direct you on where to go, what to pick up, and then you'll see the beautiful picture of who you are. And you could survive off of broken pieces, but we're not surviving. We're living, we're thriving, we're going somewhere. You hear me? We're going to this place of healed, this place of growth, this place of let's go. So before I get out of here tonight, I just want to remind you, remember who you are. You are unique, you are beautiful, you are fearfully, you are wonderfully made. I know it sounds cute and everything be rhyming and we be seeing this on social media platforms and all this good stuff, but it's real. It's real. We're ready to fight back, and this is how we fight back. Stand up, take your rightful place in the kingdom of God. If you want to know how to take your identity, how do I? Okay, God has given me this identity, D. I hear you. I hear you. Somebody right now is thinking like, yo, this sounds cool. That's real dope. I'm glad that God gave me a name. I'm glad that he can change my name and he can change my trajectory and GPS and all that good stuff that you just said. But how do I find identity in Christ? Because that's the only identity that matters, is the identity in Christ. The identity that God says, who he says that we are. And remember, in the beginning, I told you about the words believe. What do we think? What do we believe to be true about who we are? So let's hold on to that. Let's stand firm on that. Because it's time, y'all. It's time that we heal, we grow, and we go as a people, and we taking and blessing generations. We're setting generations free by just one of us. Just one of us. If God can come down and touch and reach just one of us and get us to see, act, behave, think, and align with who God says that we are, man, the enemy and all his goons would be trembling. Right now, he ain't even happy with this message. He like, oh, there she go, putting it out there. Listen, just know that you are an amazing, beautiful people. And God loves you. And I love you. It's time for us to align with our true identity, y'all. But here's what I was getting ready to say. It is my hope that we picked up and grasped hold of these tools and these keys on tonight, on today's message, to help us heal, grow, and go in this season of our lives, y'all, and in our future. Our destiny is impacted by this. But we're ready to heal, y'all. We're ready to grow, y'all. We're ready to go mind, body, and spirit. It's time. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Shade Plays podcast. Remember, you are unique. You are who God says you are. Point, and I'm just going to say period. Point blank and period. That's it. And ain't nothing you or nobody else can do about that. You could take yourself through some unnecessary trauma, some unnecessary things, but God loves you and I love you. Let's get aligned, y'all. Listen, next episode, you gotta tune in. Make sure you tap a friend. Make sure you be a friend. Make sure you go and you hit up everybody and let them know, y'all, because this thing is epic. It's epic. It's epic. All right. Especially going into 2024, know who you are. because God is ready to bless you like, man, on a whole new level, to take you to on a whole new level of elevation. You feel me? God has so much in store for you, so many blessings. Don't block your own blessings on tonight. Come on, not just for you, but for generations. Come on, y'all. It's too much at stake with us not knowing who we are. Remember who you are. That's it. That's all I'm going to say on tonight. Stay tuned. Tap in with your girl, your host, Coach Simply D. Next episode, we will be continuing our topic of identity and discussing the topic of identity. The topic next week, or the subject line for the topic, is identity, but we're going to find out how to find identity in Christ. Come on. We set this thing up. We talked about the importance of identity, what identity we have. Now we're going to talk about how to find it, because we identified it. We talked about a few things concerning it and how important it is, what's at stake. Now we need to know how to find this identity that God has given us, right, in Christ. So in order for you to get that information, you got to tap in, you got to tune in and subscribe, y'all, to our YouTube channel, the Shade Place Podcast. Come on, y'all. It's time for us to heal, grow, and go, so we could become the higher, better expressions of ourselves. Again, who don't want to be better than where they are now? Come on, y'all. Elevation is in progress. Let's go. It's already done. Let's hit it. Until the next time, beautiful people, I love you. God bless you. Again, happy holidays. If I don't see, well, yeah, I'm going to see you because you're going to be tapped in next week. I love you all. God bless you. Happy holidays. And be safe out here. Y'all don't spend all this money out here on these streets. All right. On our people. What's important is that we here, we love on each other, and we spread God's love, his peace all throughout the earth. I love you. Coach Simply D out. Peace.
You've been listening to the Shade Place Podcast. Ah, yes. Finally, a place for rest, rejuvenation, peace, and protection in the midst of life's everyday happenings. Life is hard, but we're here for you if you're seeking spiritual guidance, exploring health and wellness, diving into fitness, or just trying to identify in the world today. We hope you've enjoyed the show, and we hope you've been blessed. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find us on YouTube at The Shade Place. Take care, and we'll see you next time on the Shade Place Podcast.